Hello Gemini, this is Joe, and it's your mid-month September 2020 general tarot reading time. So this is just a general reading. It's an open reading. It could be about anything. It all depends on what comes out that is going to be the theme for you. So this isn't going to be for everybody. It possibly can't be. So if it's not for you, there's always another message on on another day that might be better suited for you, Gemini. So we're just going to peek and see what is going on for you mid-month, September 2020, and this again could be about any topic. So I rely on Spirit and the cards to bring through a message that somebody needs to hear. And this could be a message, a confirmation about your situation. It could be some intuitive guidance, but really it just isn't going to resonate with everybody. But for those of you it does, I hope that it helps your situation or brings you some clarity for the mid-month of September. So we're gonna just get right into it and see what's going on. I'm gonna pull some cards, and we're gonna talk about what is going on. You have the Magician at the center of the month for you, Gemini. So what is that Magician about? You might be trying to force something to happen, not in a forced way, but you might be trying to will something. You might be trying to manifest something. You might be trying to change the direction of a situation mid-month for you. And we're gonna pull as many cards as we can until we get the message we need to hear. And this came out. This is the card that's crossing you, the Ten of Wands. So definitely, so you have the Magician at the center of everything, and your challenge is the Ten of Wands. The challenge is the burden that you're carrying. The challenge is, I think this to me feels like, are you able to go the distance? Maybe wearing down with stamina with your situation, your circumstances. You have some choices to make. You have some decisions ahead of you this mid-month, and some of them decisions, that could be what the Magician is about, is trying to get clarity or trying to get the desired outcome that you're hoping for, Gemini. So let's see if we can dig into what this might be about here. You have the King of Swords here in your recent past. So you might have had something in your recent past that it wasn't up to you. That somebody made a decision, somebody made a choice. Maybe they made a choice for you, or a choice in a matter that's kind of greatly affected you, and it's put a heavy load on you, heavy burden, Gemini. This could be about work, for many of you. So you might be dealing with a boss or a superior who is making your life a little bit difficult at this time, and in that you're a little overwhelmed, overburdened. You might be considering moving on from your place of employment, or trying to get a transfer, a different position. It just definitely feels like you have a lot on your plate, more than you actually want on your plate, and you're trying to find a way out of this. It feels like it's just feels unfair, and there's really, it feels like there isn't a whole lot of consideration for your feelings, your point of view in this situation. But let's take a peek at what's going on in your shadow side of this. Oh, here we go. Seven of Wands. So you're trying to communicate your point of view and your opinion of things, and I think that you're hoping that by communicating your point of view in the situation, that it might actually shift things or change things, but this is probably something to no avail. It hasn't really made a whole lot of difference for you. So this is like, okay, you're moving forward carrying this burden. You're moving forward carrying a heavy workload. You're moving forward with a lot on your plate. Maybe you feel like there's more than you can handle, and so now you're trying to find a resolution to this problem. And so I think that's why the Magician is here. You're really relying on higher things, higher aspects of yourself, to kind of create the circumstances that you need. So the Magician isn't just about manifesting and whipping up spells and curses and all those kinds of things. It isn't about just forcing or creating or making something happen the way that you want it. Sometimes to me this is like using your other spiritual gifts to kind of get what you want out of a situation. So you might be relying a lot on prayer, or a lot on you know, just focusing on exactly what you want out of this, what you want to change. And so I think to me, like you have a strong belief or connection to that. So you definitely want to you know, move out of this, but you might feel like you don't have a whole lot of choices. But at, you know, at some point mid-month to the end of the month, you have the Two of Swords here. You do get an option, but it might not be what you want to choose from. So I feel like there's just a little difficulty, you know, here, being a little bit stuck, being left without really choices that you want to have in this matter. So Gemini, you might have a bit of a struggle, and I do definitely feel like this is about your work, your career. But you know, if it's not, apply it how you will. You know, this can apply in a number of scenarios, but definitely feels like to me this is about your work and career. Let's see what's moving forward. Six of Pentacles. You know, before I say too much, I do almost feel like you're assessing your value and your worth with where you're at in your workplace. So your value and your worth isn't really being calculated properly, and so you know, there's like more flow output from you, so that your output is greater than what you're receiving back in you know, as far as your skill, your work, your labor, what you're putting into your career. And so you might be actually pondering whether or not it's time to just move on, cut your ties, cut yourself loose, and get yourself into a better place, a better situation, Gemini. So let's see what's moving ahead. Six of Swords, getting into a better place, better situation. So you definitely might be considering you know, doing your resume, putting the word out. You might be considering making some changes in your actual line of work with respect to your employer. So if you have options with transferring to another department, another location, so you're trying to feel everything out, but it's definitely a sense of being unhappy because it like somebody puts too much on your plate, somebody expects too much of you. And I think that this is like really this is like a pivotal moment for you in the middle of the month, because you don't want to take on more than you're being compensated for. And it might be a situation where you're kind of carrying it home with you, or you're working late hours, or you're just you know, it's affecting your overall well-being when you're out of work, and your mood. So definitely definitely a big change, assessing your worth and your value. And this is probably causing you to you know, take a step out of this. And so you might be assessing all your options again, a transfer within your company, putting your resume out, trying to get job interviews, trying to pursue something else. And it might be worrisome for you because it is a difficult time to be trying to make a change. So the Knight of Swords to me is like, so this is influencing you right now. This Knight of Swords is coming here, and it's drawing attention to I think that there's a push. You have a push behind you in this, and in that push is you know, it's like, it's not a, to me the Knight of Swords in this is not a push from you know, somebody in your external environment, because this is your external influences. I think the external influence in this is really just an intuitive influence. So it definitely is pushing you to make a change. It's definitely influencing you to get out there and speak about your abilities, your worth, you know, what you can do for somebody. And so I definitely feel like this is like being in the pursuit of change, but this is also communicating that to others around you. And I think that so that is really what is the big influence for you in the middle of the month. This is what's pushing you or driving you to do it. I don't think that it's somebody or something necessarily. I think this is just an intuitive feeling you have that it might be just the right time for you to move forward and try to you know, so to speak, strike your sword and make a move. So let's see what is the potential worry for you. what's bothering you about this, your hopes and fears. You know, this could be the most challenging part of this reading for you. Yeah, the Page of Swords. So definitely, I feel like to me this is you showing up in Gemini in your reading, in the sense that you are really getting together everything you need to communicate what you're worth, what you can do. It's like it's like getting out there and showing yourself off a little bit. I think it's also you being worried about putting things out there that your employer or the people you're working for or working with might find out. And so you might try to be very secretive about this, which is probably a good thing, because you might be in a industry or a line of work where people communicate and talk. And so I think this is like you're trying to keep things under wraps because you don't want to be found out, in a sense. And so this is like a kind of covert operation to better yourself, to try and get out of something that's burdening you. And look what we have for the outcome: Queen of Pentacles. So this is a situation that I think in the end you end up in a situation where you're kind of nurturing yourself. I think you start to feel better about yourself, and so maybe this is about a move happening. And the Page of Swords could also be about news of that, an acceptance of work. It could be an acceptance of an interview. It could be acceptance of a lot of things. But I think that by the time the month closes out, the Queen of Pentacles, I think you're really feeling that you are taking care of yourself, and I think you're really starting to really feel your value and worth is actually much more than what you're being compensated for. And so I think definitely this is all about your career. This general reading here, mid-month, it's all about your work, your line of work, what you're doing for yourself to better yourself. So Gemini, definitely an interesting reading, and I think that this outcome here, it doesn't say really necessarily what happens, but nonetheless, no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, you're definitely feeling better about yourself. And I think that you're looking a lot more attractive to prospective employers, other people in your industry, being well respected. And this is you taking care of yourself and not letting yourself being taken advantage of anymore, not carrying that extra workload, being uncompensated for what you're doing or being undercompensated. So interesting reading. I do like this. I think that Gemini, this is all about some changes and speaking up and taking action for you this month. And I think the King of Cups here, this ends up making you feel in control of things. You might start to feel like you got your emotions in check. You might start to feel like you're starting to feel a little bit more balanced and a little bit more comfortable with where you're at or where you're going. And you might feel like you are like you really are in control of your life, or in a respect like you have gotten things under control by the end of September. And so definitely a good place for you to be mid-month to the end of the month is speaking up, taking action, seizing the opportunity, seizing the moment to better yourself in your work and your career. So Gemini, I'm going to kind of end it here, but I do want to pull one of these and see what else we can add to the message for you. All right, Gemini. So what do we have for you to add to this message? The Fates. So there could be something that is just, this is divine timing, and this might be why the Knight of Swords comes out in your external influences. This, I did say, I felt like this was an intuitive push, like this is the right time to make your move. This is the right time to start changing things to better yourself. So the Fates, this could be very fated. This could be the right time, the right place, the right people. And again, the Queen of Pentacles coming out in the completion of this reading. It's like really just being respected, regarded, in having the feeling that, you know, you're actually taking care of yourself, and not letting yourself be walked over. Your value is made known, and you're valuing yourself, and you are putting a realistic figure on what your value is to a prospective employer, or somebody else in your environment, when it comes to your line of work. So definitely a good place to be. It's an attractive position to be in for you, going through mid-September to the end of September. So Gemini, I think this is a good reading for you. I think that just means that it's time for a change, and you might be getting the push you need, and really you're the push to make that happen. And you know, trust your intuition, trust your own internal compass, your own internal guidance, and it's going to lead you in the right direction. And you know, definitely very fated. So go Gemini. Take control of the situation, seize the day, and better yourself, better your situation. So I'm gonna leave it here. If this resonates with you, you'll know. Just leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know if this speaks to your situation, and subscribe if you want to hear more from me down the road. I will talk to you again, Gemini. Thank you.